into a family that was at the church every Sunday, Wednesday. I knew some of the gospel songs and some hymns before I knew maybe even my name. My parents, they were very, very busy doing the main stuff of church life. I don't recall having time in the home together to know each other's hearts, but instead there was control and anger and violence that left me thinking inside, if this is God, I want nothing to do with him. I just went after everything dark. So starting at the age of about 14, I got a little attention right at the very beginning of high school from an upperclassman, and he was really cute and I was really excited. I remember at my first high school party looking around and seeing how it really was about sexual sin, drinking, and I did not let this man do what he wanted to do, and therefore I lost him. So I remember making a very damaging promise inside that I would never say no again. I believed that if I would say yes to a guy and what he wanted, then I would get to keep him. How deceptive it is. You think for a moment that you're beautiful and loved, but then afterwards, it's really a lie. You can turn yourself off for a few minutes. You can turn your heart off. You can turn your emotions off. You cannot bury your emotions. They're buried alive, and eventually they come back out. But all the while, my true heart was dying. Grief from a child giving away parts of her that are meant for a safe covenant. That bond is supposed to be something that grows forever, not something that's repeatedly broken and repeatedly broken and repeatedly broken, and you're repeatedly left and you're repeatedly left. It's meant to be a secure intertwining with the blessing of God in the covenant of marriage. Some of the consequences started setting in. When I was 16, Mom actually had a dream about me being pregnant, and she confronted me on it, and I was still in half denial mode where I was like, nope. She made me do a pregnancy test and it was positive. I was a cheerleader, honor student, partying, and now I had this decision and consequence of having sex outside of marriage to grapple with.
I have this painting in my head of how life and love should be, of hugs and talks and walks by a flowing stream. But I never quite imagined how much suffering there could be.
There was a little bit of deception, a little bit of this is not really a baby, it's not a baby yet. But mostly it was fear and pride. Fear was ruining my parents' ministry. So I was in the abortion clinic. I was scared. The mother heart in me was not wanting to go through with it. They took me back there to the nurse, and she started giving me the spiel and the warnings and everything. I just remember going, I want to run. But then that numbing thing that I would do just came back over me of this is what I got to do and it's not going to hurt me. Determined to be strong and not feel what those other ladies were feeling. Because this one lady was bawling. This was her third one, and so we were laying on cots and she was over there bawling, and I was just like, just get me out of here. It was just a very black, dark day. Because you're not only letting go of a precious creature, it has been said that abortion is like suicide to the mother in you, because you're going against everything that's natural as a mother to protect at all costs and to nurture. And you are putting a gun to that. I wish I could say that walking through the abortion stopped the bad behavior, but it did not. I became the talk of the town. Ignored, that was laughed at, was jeered, was threatened. If I go to their parties, they will beat me up. If my house was vandalized, it made me feel like I have no worth for doing this and I should die. Started reading the Bible for the first time in my well-churched life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It was suddenly, for God so loved Charlotte that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. I knew what sin was because it was all over me. In my head, as a minister's daughter, I knew the answers. Now, in my heart and in my soul, I had to have the answers.
He was gladly led without a cry, without a cry, without a cry. He was gladly led without a cry, and his father said, "Innocent, you my love, innocent."
I was in college and my sister and brother-in-law invited me to a revival. I've been singing for revivals since I was 3. This man was singing on his guitar and I began to feel the love of Jesus for the first time in my life. I was weeping and I didn't exactly know why, and I don't think that the people at the altar knew why. It's like, what do we do? Is this a rededication? And I'm just like, I didn't know. I just feel like I was repenting of my sin and feeling the love of Jesus.
To cry, still my father says, "Innocent, innocent, you my love, innocent."
One of the things that I felt like I was supposed to do one day, to go back to the place where I lost my virginity and where all of this sexual misuse began. I found the place and all of a sudden I saw in my mind's eye a vision, and I didn't even know this happened to people, a tidal wave coming down the hall. And it was so powerful and it was so strong, coming down the hall, that was going to wipe out that whole building. And it was the blood of Jesus, which to me represented all of this sexual sin, abortion, the pride, the arrogance, the control, the deception, all wiped away. Because I have sinned greatly, I have an extravagant desire to pour myself out on the feet of Jesus, the one who saved me, and the one who paid, the one that bought me back from all of this life of prostitution with no money. He bought me back with his love.
Then you take